Today on The Eagle, we are going to tackle a critical question. What role does gender play in the fight against corruption in Nigeria? As we navigate the intricate web of corruption, it's clear that men and women experience and respond to corruption differently. But do these differences impact the effectiveness of anti-corruption efforts? Join us in the course of the program as we delve into the gender nexus in the fight against corruption. We will examine the unique challenges and opportunities that men and women face in this struggle and explore now a more inclusive and gender-sensitive approach that can strengthen our collective efforts to combat corruption. From experience as an anti-corruption operative to a member of one of the two genders in focus and a parent, our guests shall explore different perspectives of this age-long debate. My name is Aisha Mohammed. Presenting with me is
Golden Onra. Thank you for always keeping a date with us on The Eagle, a program that chronicles the activities of the EFCC and gives you, our viewers, an opportunity to know how to contribute your quota in the fight against corruption. We start the program with a call by the Pension Transitional Arrangements Directorate, PTAD, seeking the collaboration of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on knowledge sharing and forensic analysis of documents to combat pension fraud. This request was made in Abuja by the Executive Secretary of PTAD, Tolulokpe Odunaya, while on a courtesy visit to the Executive Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ola Olukoede, at the Commission's corporate headquarters. Abbas Abubakar Umar tells us more.
Executive Secretary of PTAD Tolulope Odunaya emphasized the importance of enhancing cooperation between the EFCC and PTAD to address challenges in the pension industry. She proposed continuous engagement to exchange knowledge on new developments within the pension sector and the challenges the Directorate encounter in tackling pension fraud. In addition, the PTAD boss, who appreciated the long-standing relationship between PTAD and the EFCC, requested for the Commission's expertise in forensic analysis of documents to ascertain genuineness and authenticity. She equally called for both organizations' continuous knowledge-sharing engagements to update the EFCC on the new development in the pension industry and the challenges that PTAD faces.
PTAD and EFCC enjoy an existing beneficial relationship, and we have held engagements in the past. We focused on addressing matters of mutual concern, including prevention of pension fraud and promoting transparency and good governance. It's therefore very important that I express PTAD's appreciation for the relationship and the support that EFCC has extended to the Directorate over the years. It is my hope that we can continue to strengthen this relationship.
In his response, the EFCC boss, Ola Olukoede, welcomed the proposal, affirming the Commission's readiness to collaborate with PTAD to eliminate pension fraud. He stated that the EFCC is not only ready to identify but also strengthen the already existing relationship with PTAD. He praised PTAD's efforts in the transition arrangement, pledged Commission's continuous support to PTAD in the area of investigation and in the recovery of money, among others. He stressed that one of the biggest investigations the EFCC has ever carried out under pension management was the one for PTAD, and some of these cases are still in court.
We on our part, we are always looking for collaboration and synergy with well-meaning and reform-minded agencies like yours in order to push this country forward.
The EFCC chairman further noted the Commission's interest in forging alliances with agencies committed to reforms and transparency, noting that such partnerships are essential to advancing the nation's economic interest. Abbas Abubakar Umar reporting for The Eagle.
Rising from a three-day management retreat, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC has restated its commitment to enhance professionalism and integrity in driving the nation's fight against economic and financial crimes and other acts of corruption. This resolve was made in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State by top brass of the commission, led by its executive chairman, Ola Olukoyede, at the end of a 3-day retreat for directors of the EFCC. Speaking on the theme of the retreat, EFCC, the journey so far, ensuring professionalism and integrity, Olukoyede pointing out that professionalism and integrity are key to the future relevance and effectiveness of the EFCC. Mardia Omar is our guide on this.
The EFCC chairman, Ola Olukoyede, stated that integrity is a fragile commodity that everyone must carefully nurture and safeguard to guarantee the trust and respect of various publics. He promised that the EFCC's workforce would turn out to be a critical mass of honest, highly motivated and effective team. The retreat provided opportunity for critical and no-holds-barred review of activities of the EFCC in 2024. Most striking in the previous year was milestones recorded in asset recovery, arrest, prosecution, strategic redirection, and organizational re-engineering, leading to the establishment of new departments and restructuring of orders. In 2024, the Commission secured 4,111 convictions and held monetary recovery of over 365.4 billion naira. The EFCC's boss appreciated the sacrifice, hard work, discipline and commitment of staff of the Commission in making such achievement, while calling for increased dedication to surpass the records of 2024 and greater commitment to integrity of processes in the agency.
It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the annual EFCC Management Retreat. I attach great importance to this gathering, which has become a platform for open and frank discussions on issues that concern all of us. We are fighting the biggest battle, perhaps worse than what we are fighting against Boko Haram in Nigeria. Boko Haram, you know your enemy, you identify your enemy, you are ready, you are prepared for the enemy, you take on your enemy headlong, and you have the support of everybody involved in the fight. Yes. But our own fight, sometimes the closest person to you is the enemy you are fighting. You fight the enemy within, you fight the enemy without. And ordinarily, people who are supposed to provide arsenals and weapons for you to fight the enemy, they are the ones that are conniving with the enemy to fight you. That's how dangerous the fight against corruption is. It's worse than the fight against terrorism and Boko Haram. And that's the truth.
Key resource persons made presentations at the retreat. One of them, Professor Tony Iradia, spoke on the role of personnel in information management and public perception of the EFCC, stressing that wrong perception of the works of the EFCC was coming out of deliberate distortion and outright cynicism about the strides and courageous works of the Commission. He applauded the passion, integrity and transparent leadership Olukoyede is offering the Commission and called for more involvement of Nigerians in the anti-graft fight.
And so whenever we are talking about leadership, people mistake leadership to mean the man on top. That is not the meaning of leadership. Leadership is a person who has an opportunity to lead some people. And that definition shows that there are leaderships all over the place. The chairman is a leader. The head of division is a leader. The head of section is a leader. The head of unit is a leader. The chief messenger is a leader. The chief cleaner is a leader. All these are leaders that lead people. What they do is what lead people to follow them and do the right thing.
Another speaker, Femi Falana, SAN, went down memory lane about the involvement of the Commission and affirmed that the Commission has come to stay. He commended Olukoyede and the entire staff of the Commission for being undaunted, resolute and progressive in moving the anti-graft war forward, promising that challenges being posed by the judiciary would be looked into to ensure that the Commission fully delivers on its mandate of tackling corrupt practices across the country.
To see how you are going to win cases. I'm sure my colleagues here know what I'm talking about. So for me, in taking stock, I'm going to join issues with you, the EFCC, particularly in the area of human rights. And I'm also going to say, with profound respect, that some cases that have to do with grand economic and financial crimes have to be investigated in the interest of our country and in the interest of your own credibility.
Other highlights of the retreat include driving digital transformation and innovation of processes and systems in the Commission through procurement of cutting-edge technology to aid the works of the EFCC, enhanced staff welfare, improving the brand equity of the Commission, and doing the right thing, always for the nation and the entire world.
The Executive Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ola Olukoyede, has called on Nigerian missions abroad to collaborate with the EFCC in tackling corruption and enhancing the nation's image on the global arena. He made the call in Abuja while delivering a keynote speech at the Public Service Institute of Nigeria. Chinonso Alexander Eni, who was there at the event, completes the story.
The chairman, who spoke through the Director of Public Affairs, Commander of the EFCC, Wilson Owojaren, pointed out that Nigeria's image in the international community was largely influenced by factors such as population, natural resource endowment, military strength, political stability, quality of leadership, institutional efficiency, rule of law, and the quality of life of its citizens. While acknowledging the efforts of Nigerian missions in representing the country's interest, he stressed that corruption remains a major impediment to their ability to project a positive image. The EFCC's boss recounted how Nigerians' reputation has been tarnished by corruption-related scandals, both locally and internationally. He referenced the infamous 2016 Anti-Corruption Summit in London, where the then British Prime Minister, David Cameron, referred to Nigeria as fantastically corrupt. According to him, such public statements, while being undiplomatic, accurately reflect global perceptions of Nigeria. He further highlighted how corrupt activities perpetrated by both Nigerian officials and private citizens have continued to harm the country's image abroad. Notable cases cited include the prosecution of former governors James Ibori, Joshua Dariye, and the late Depriye Alamesia for corruption-related offences, as well as high-profile fraud involving individuals like Emmanuel Nwude, Ramsin Abbas, aka Hush Puppy, and Ismaila Mustafa, aka Monfa. Olukoyede lamented that Nigerian missions abroad are not immune to corruption, citing allegations of unauthorized fees charged for services and poor accountability in the utilization of funds allocated to these missions. He noted that such practices further damage Nigeria's reputation and complicate the work of diplomats. The EFCC boss emphasized the agency's contribution towards rebuilding Nigeria's global reputation, which includes enforcement actions, collaboration with international law enforcement agencies, recovery of stolen assets, extradition of fraud suspects, and providing advisory services to foreign investors. Noting that these efforts demonstrate Nigerians' commitment to combating corruption and promoting adherence to the rule of law. The EFCC chairman further urged Nigerian missions to complement the EFCC's efforts by providing intelligence on corrupt Nigerians abroad, facilitating connections with foreign law enforcement agencies, assisting in asset recovery, and participating in international agreements aimed at combating illicit financial flows. He also encouraged Nigerian missions to engage in cultural diplomacy by promoting positive achievements of Nigerians globally and supporting exchange visits that allow foreigners to experience the country firsthand. The EFCC chairman appealed to all Nigerian diplomats to allow the ethics of their profession and love of country to guide their actions, emphasizing that their contributions are essential to erasing corruption from Nigeria's political landscape and restoring the nation's standing in the global community. I am Chinonso Eni, reporting for the Eagle.
Corruption affects us all, but do men and women experience and respond to it differently? In this segment, we explore the gender nexus in the fight against corruption in Nigeria. From the grassroots to the corridors of power, What do we need to know about the gender dynamics at play in the fight against corruption? Let's join Miracle Chukwu-Aguziam, who will be discussing with our guest on how societal norms, cultural expectations, and institutional barriers impact men's and women's role in combating corruption, as they discuss the topic, Men versus Women, the gender nexus in the fight against corruption in Nigeria. Over to you, Miracle.
The debate as to which gender is more corrupt has been an ongoing one, which end we may not see soon. Generally though, it is believed that men are more corrupt than women. This perception is easily accepted due to the visibility of men in the society and in governance, especially where a lot of factors make women more vulnerable to the effects of corruption. In reality, is this widely believed notion true? Are there other variables involved in determining which gender is more corrupt than the other? What are the consequences of this gender nexus in the fight against corruption? These questions and more as we host our guest, Assistant Commander of EFCC 1, Ibotokai Oluwatoyin. She's the head Special Duty Committee 5 of the EFCC. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
So, what is corruption?
Corruption is an act of dishonesty. It is a criminal offense committed by an individual, group of people, or an organization entrusted with power or authority to acquire wealth illicitly for their personal gain.
Is there any connection between corruption and gender?
Yes. Personally, to me, there's a strong connection between gender and corruption. Men are seen to be in many public and government, both private and government offices. They hold high positions whereas women are left out. Women are so vulnerable to the effect of corruption. They are sidelined in terms of decision makings. They are not considered in terms of participation. Men are always seen at every position and at decision-taking roles. They don't consider women. They take women as subordinates to men, and their decisions are not considered. They are always left aside. Even sometimes when women are trying to raise up their voices, they might take it as a sign of disrespect. Women are not supposed to talk. Even societally, women, we also know generally that women are always supposed to be at home taking care of children, are not supposed to be talking where men are talking. But this has affected women in a lot of things. We are the ones suffering the effect of this corruption, and this is not so good for us. We should be allowed to participate. We should be allowed to contribute our quota in fighting corruption and to make our nation a better place to live in. Thank you.
So who is more corrupt? Is it the men or the women?
Men are more corrupt. To my own understanding and based on experiences I've seen so far, due to the positions they hold, they have access to all this, they are more corrupt. Even in our correctional services, facilities, we see that the population of men to women is so wide. Women, I'm not saying women are not corrupt, but the percentage is far, far different, high.
Yes.
The more of men in corrupt practices. Women are good managers, and if they are given opportunities, they will perform better. They manage the homes, even with the little resources they have, they're able to cater for the family. They consider people's needs better than having concentrating on their own personal interest. They consider the public interest. Whenever people need things, whenever people complain, they take it to heart. They don't care about their own personal needs. They consider the public interest first. They are good mothers. They are good organizers. They make sure things go well and ensure there's peace in the environment. People are given times, a chance to talk and to say their need. And they're always there to assist people. So to this, I think men are more corrupt.
Who suffers the effect of this corruption more between the two genders?
Not because I'm a woman, but from what I've seen so far,
Yes.
women suffer more. There are three categories like the women, the children, and the disabled. They are always at the suffering end of this. They are more vulnerable to the effect of corruption, unlike men. Men don't really bother. What they're after is to satisfy their needs and their ego, and they go.
So men, they are the ones, top echelon. The women are the ones that suffer it more.
Yes.
So thank you so much. So what roles are expected from both genders in the fight against corruption? What role?
Fighting corruption is a collaborative effort. It involves both genders. Even children, you're supposed to fight corruption, and the role is supposed to participate in fighting this corruption very well. For instance, we should be transparent in whatever we do. If you find yourself in any government offices, private offices, ensure that you do your work transparently. You should be accountable. There should be openness.
What roles are expected from women or men as, in the fight against corruption?
There are many roles to be taken up by the genders. For example, self-discipline. Discipline means to do the right thing at the right time. As a father or husband at home, do not live above your means. Live within your means and don't allow anybody to push you under any pressure. Whatever you cannot afford, don't go out to go and involve yourself in crime in order to meet up with such, because the consequences, you'll be the one to suffer it alone. Likewise, women. Women, don't pressurize your husband. Don't join any unrivalry competition or be following friends that you don't even know where they got their money or what they are involved into. Teach your children morals, instill discipline in them so that they will not become a problem to you in future. The children too, you have to be disciplined. Follow the footsteps of your father, good footsteps of your father and mother. Don't go out to go and join bad gangs. When you see something that is not done right, speak out. You should not be quiet. You should say things out. There's a slogan that says, when you see something, say something.
Yes.
You should not indulge in corruption. You should not allow people around us to be involved in corruption. There's the issue of whistleblowing that the government has put in place. If you see anybody involved in corrupt practices or is hiding money anywhere, speak out. Contact the law enforcement agency so that such will be taken care of.
So is there any difference in how you handle men and women corruption suspects?
There's no difference. Suspect is suspect. The only difference or exception to this is in the cause of arrest. The standard says men should search or arrest, search women, while men are supposed to search men. But sometimes, in the course of your job, you see a suspect trying to escape from a lawful custody. You need to arrest such. You can't say because it's a woman, I will allow the person to be going scot-free. You need to do your job at that point in time. But every other aspect of investigation is the same, and suspect is the same, and you handle them the same way.
But before I let you go, what are your last words? What are your last words, your parting words to those listening or watching us on this topic, gender connection and the fight against corruption?
My advice to my people, my viewers out there, is that we should all work together to fight this menace called corruption. Irrespective of your tribe, your religion, or where you come from, we are all in one nation, and we should fight this corruption so that we can have a better place to live in, even for us and for our children yet unborn. And above all, we should fear God and ensure we do the right thing at the right time.
Thank you so much. That's it on our interview segment today. My name is Miracle Chukwagoziem. Back to the studio for the rest of the program.
Yes, Golden.
You know that women have a lot of responsibilities in shaping and molding the society. They are mothers and wives, so a lot is expected of them.
Yes, Golden, I totally agree with you. And this is an avenue for us to appeal to all women to please help the EFCC to fight corruption. Be a contented and appreciative wife. Don't push your husband to crime. And please check on your children regularly. Help in instilling the spirit of integrity in them, as they are our future. To all men and fathers, please note that you are being pressurized by your partners and children, or even by your corrupt colleagues, is no excuse to engage in corrupt practices. Be a man. Stand your ground against negative influences. And that's how we draw the curtains on this week's episode of The Eagle. Until we come your way again, keep sending in your messages, inquiries and suggestions to info@efcc.gov.ng. You can also call us on 0809 3322 644.
Don't forget to use the EFCC's mobile app, the Eagle Eye, to report any fraud you see happening anywhere, anytime around you. Just download the app, follow the steps, and report the fraud on the go. You can also take pictures of corrupt practices and upload on the app. Also remember to join us every Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. on our web-based town hall meeting called EFCC Connect, where we answer your questions and note your observations of the anti-corruption fight in order to serve you better. Also listen to EFCC Radio 97.3 FM, the voices against economic and financial crimes. I am Golden Onhora.
And I am Aisha Mohammed, leaving you with this words that says, corruption is a crime against humanity. Say no to corruption and do the right thing always. Goodbye. God bless Nigeria. Be kind to yourself and to others around you.